Experience with us our culture, old traditional values, and the Miccosukee way of life here in South Florida.
Putting on a little bit of our culture for everybody that came to join us today to see and experience what Miccosukee is all about. That's part of the reason why we did the boat trip at the beginning. That was the way our people traveled in the Everglades and also coming out to Miami. Back then, the Miami River was clean, and people used to travel up and down that canal to do their business with a trading post that used to be at the mouth of the Miami River where it flows into the ocean. There was a camp that was established here. Outside, on the grounds, you should have tasted some of our native foods that we usually eat. We have a fry bread that should be pretty tasty to everybody because I've had it since I was a kid and I still love it. The thing that I miss the most is the one that my mom used to cook. But my mom passed away in 96, but there are other people that make it just as good.
I am a native Miamian. I was born and raised here. I remember the camp that was here near 27th Avenue and 12th Street, and I know of the history of the people that inhabited this particular area.
And I remember when FIU was an airport. I remember Sweetwater was just a little hamlet, and this makes me very, very, very happy and serene to know that this is here. I don't know if you know the history, but the Mesa Isle tourist camp was not far from here, and it's just making our presence known that we are here, we've always been here, and we will continue to be here and be part of the worldwide community, which is South Florida and Miami.
Oh, it's so easy to forget that it's just a part of our history that the Native American people inhabited the entire land that we now occupy. And we must give respect to that and honor to that. And our children and our children's children must be reminded of this through the history that we share.
They are the ancestors of our society. They were the first here. They are the true Floridians. Everybody else comes from somewhere else. They're great people. I know some of them personally. And I will tell you that they're an inspiration of people that really have maintained their culture and maintained their way of life, but yet also established a modern way of living.
We are getting past our past political differences and stuff. In the end, we're all in the same dugout. Both tribes have been through rocky waters, but we are surviving. Miccosukee Seminoles were all survivors in today's worldwide economy.
And I remember coming by here with my family when it was a camp. So to see the progress and to see this embassy that represents their people here, it's incredible. See them in the middle of Dade County, Miami, and what you said, the progress all around them, but yet they have their culture, they have their embassy, and they have their roots.
Miccosukee is not alone. We coexist with other cultures and other communities, and we have to reach out to them and work with them if we're going to continue surviving. That is why I was saying that the issue of the Glades, we need to share our concerns with the rest of the community, make them aware of what's going on out there, so that way they can help us in our struggle to save our homeland. That's what that's the reason why we're opening up the embassy to the public, asking them to come in, get to know us, and try and work with us.
I think it's a treasure. It's a treasure that we be exposed to that particular history and have an opportunity to learn and to share and to take pride in the history that it affords us.
American Indian Day is to celebrate and remind people of the history of natives. For the Miccosukees, the Everglades play a big role in preserving our culture. Watch as the chairman of the Miccosukee tribe makes an emotional plea to save the Everglades.
Give us a little bit of description of what we have here.
Yes, sir. Well, I have a collection of patchwork that was handed down to me. The materials that I am giving to the Miccosukee, they were never mine. I only held them.
So this is 86 years old, and I proudly, on behalf of my grandfather, give this to you.
Trust. I'm giving them today because they belong there. It is their home. Beyond that, this material is so unique and so specific and peculiar to this culture, their heritage, their ancestors, their environment. It is no better set of a comprehensive collection of information to help them today, just as it would have in the days that have gone by.
One of the things my grandfather did with the children was artwork. Color pencils, watercolors, etc. And this is a watercolor that was done by Scone Cypress on January the 27th, 1943. And it speaks to something that is common to all of us today. That's our beloved Everglades. And I want to give this to the tribe.
People call it the Everglades, eco-sensitive environment, nature's wonder. We call it Kahayalit. And to us, that is home. You know, people look at it as full of snakes, alligators, mosquitoes. But to us, they keep us company. That's part of the environment. And it's up to us as people of our native land to protect that. And that's one of our main goal as a tribe, is to protect our homeland. We are adaptive people. We adapt. We adapt to the land. We adapt to our surroundings. We do not try to change what's around us. We do not try to change what God gave us. We adapt and we evolve with the land. We evolve with our nature. We evolve with the elements. Because that's the way we are taught. That's the way we are. We adapt. We adapt to the land. We adapt to our surroundings.
The sad part is the Everglades is dying a slow death. It's dying because of man. We're not here to point fingers or to say the blame goes over there. We're people that adapt. We're people that work with everybody. What we're trying to do is we're trying to work with the state and the federal government to save the Everglades. We spend our own resources to save the Everglades. I have personally met with Governor Scott and spoke to him about the Everglades project. There was a project that was undertaken back in the year 2000, which was to save and restore the Everglades. It's been over 10 years and we're nowhere near it. I remember when I was young, staying in the reservation out in the middle of the Everglades. I would sleep in the chickie, wake up in the morning during the winter. You look outside, out of your mosquito bar, and you would see nothing but a field of a white coat of birds feeding in the morning. The sound that they would make as they feed was really, really loud, and that's what used to wake me up. What was even more louder was when they would fly off at the same time. When they would flock their wings together, all simultaneously, it would sound like the engine of a 747 taking off. Today, you're lucky if you get to see 4 or 5 wood stork standing together. That's the way the Glades is dying. The wildlife is disappearing. The water quality has gone down. On our reservation, we're experiencing artificial floods and artificial drought. That causes our tree islands to deteriorate. Tree islands are where we have our camps. That's where we teach our young how to raise corn. That is where our forefathers lived. But because they are disappearing, our culture is dying with it. That's why it is so important for us to save the Everglades. I want my kids, grandkids, to see the Everglades when they grow up and appreciate it, just the way I did. But at the rate that we're going, we're not going to be able to save it unless we can get everybody to work together. It's not just our problem, but it's also everybody in the state. Everybody in Dade County, everybody in Broward County, Collier County, Monroe County, because the water that the Everglades has is the one that feeds the aquifer system, which we get our water here in town. If that water disappears, you're going to have salt water coming into your water supply, and eventually you're not going to be able to drink your water because it's going to be too salty. And I understand that some of our well waters here in town has already experiencing saltwater intrusion. That will get worse. What I would ask is for everybody to take interest in the Everglades and try to save it before it's too late.
Here is a preview of fun-filled events on American Indie Day hosted at the Miccosukee Resort.